Now at 10, a Joplin organization hosts an event to raise awareness about prescription misuse and the dangers of fentanyl.
Plus, Conference Freshman of the Year honors from Missouri Southern baseball outfielder.
And we look back on the deadly Carl Junction tornado from 20 years ago and how another southwest Missouri town is rebuilding after an outbreak.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Area residents from Joplin gathered for a town hall meeting today to discuss prescription misuse and fentanyl awareness. Thank you for choosing KOAM News at 10. I'm Jalen Banks. KOAM Jean Houdela talked with the panelists as well as the participants.
The Joplin Area Coalition hosted a town hall meeting to provide education on being safe with prescription drug use and fentanyl.
Probably 2016-17 we were averaging 50 overdose calls a year. 2018-19 we kind of saw an explosion on that. It went well over 100 and it's continued to creep up since then.
Coach says in the Joplin community, 6 out of 10 pills on the street have fentanyl content in them.
We as a police department and as a community deal with every day. Kids at the school are not unaffected, whether it is addictions that their family members or friends are dealing with, or even themselves. It doesn't have a demographic tied to it by age or any other qualifier.
Some of the participants have experienced drug use and are ready to hear from the panel to make a difference in the issue.
I hope that it helps one addict, save a life. I was an opiate addict for 25 years, so I know all about it, and I'm just happy to be here to listen and get some insight myself, to stay clean.
I think it would just be how to end the fentanyl crisis, really. I mean, it's killing a lot of people. It's a big problem in the United States and all over the world.
The participants and panelists talk about the importance of educating youth.
I've experienced in Narcotics Anonymous, with my 3.5 years of being clean, that you can have fun clean. You can have fun sober. You don't have to be high or drunk or anything like that to have fun.
Drug experimentation now is not what it was a generation ago. So it's kind of changing that perception of harm.
In Joplin, Janna Haudala, KOAM News.
Officer Aaron Gooch reminds residents about the Missouri Good Samaritan law that protects the caller from arrest on drug charges if someone is having a medical emergency. And now Chief Meteorologist Doug Keddy joins us with the first look of the weather.
Yeah, we've been getting some rain throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. Most of us has received some pretty good rainfall amounts. 67 was our high, average high 74, so a little bit below where we should be. You can see the rain extreme southeastern Kansas, southwestern Missouri, a little bit popping up in northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But where you do see the yellows, that is where we are getting moderate rainfall, which we greatly need. So from Pittsburgh south to Joplin, Cherokee County, even into Ottawa County, stretching up toward Lamar, and then over toward the east near Springfield. And this is going to stick around the next few hours, not much in our western counties. Scattered showers continue after midnight, mainly on the Missouri side, and then finally start to taper off late tonight, and then heading into the morning hours for us tomorrow. Big warm up next few days, more thunderstorms in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Today marks 20 years since a deadly tornado killed 19 people and injured 143 in southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. It also destroyed or damaged thousands of homes. The F3 tornado that hit Carl Junction, Missouri, touched down in Cherokee County, Kansas before moving through Smithfield and then Carl Junction. More than 30% of the buildings in the city were damaged, including $6.5 million in damage to schools. That same day, an EF4 twister destroyed about 200 homes in Franklin, Kansas, as well as the post office and the community center. The tornado lifted briefly before touching back down across the state line in rural Barton County. And all that tornado claimed 7 lives. Along with the Carl Junction tornado, the outbreak hit other parts of southwest Missouri. 15 tornadoes in total touched down that day, leaving thousands of buildings damaged. 7 people were killed. Nicolette Zangara introduces us to the woman who spoke up to restore Pierce City's buildings instead of starting over.
20 years ago, a strong tornado damaged portions of the buildings you see behind me. The original plan was to start new again, demolish the old buildings and build a new Pierce City. But one building owner put her foot down, and it's the reason why these buildings are still here today. Here's her story.
In reality, what Mother Nature didn't put asunder, man did here.
Norma Baccaris purchased one of the original Pierce City buildings in 2002. Her husband passed away months later, leaving her with a storefront, 2 apartments inside a building chocked full of history. When the F3 tornado damaged parts of the building, the power had gone out. City officials began restoring power for some areas, but not the historic strip of buildings.
We're not taking this building down. When are you going to restore our electricity here? Oh no, none of these buildings are going to stay, he said. They're all coming down. You know, who in the sky was directing that kind of information, I do not know.
That was when she picked up the phone and called an attorney who told her she has every right to fight. Even her neighbors questioned her reasoning.
You can rebuild. Just take it all down, Norma. There's no point in trying to save all that. Just take it all down. And I said, I can't afford to build what I have here.
Neighboring businesses and community members stood behind her in support, which has kept Pierce City the way it has always been remembered.
The event that was originally planned for tonight has been moved to next Friday due to the rain and forecast tonight. It'll feature free food, entertainment, and a community-wide discussion about how the tornado impacted Pierce City. The Labette County Emergency Assistance Center today celebrated 25 years of serving the community. The center hosted an open house and ribbon cutting. They provide emergency assistance to Labette County, Kansas residents, such as financial aid and a food pantry. Officials say their mission has remained the same over the last quarter century: help those in need.
Non-perishable items, we do have meats that we get from the food bank in Independence, and sometimes we get bread from Independence, but it's mostly non-perishables that we provide.
The center is located at 301 North 30th Street in Parsons. A Joplin Art Gallery hosted an auction to support those in need. Local Color Art Gallery hosted its spring open house. During the event, people were able to bid on art pieces created by 18 award-winning local artists. All of the money raised from the auction will benefit the Ronald McDonald House of the Four States.
It's the community that supported us for the last 25 years, and now here we are among the artists that are doing that for us. It feels always good to be at a local organization where local artists can actually earn a living.
The art pieces up for auction included original paintings, glass and resin art, jewelry, 3D glass, leatherworks, stained glass, wood turnings, and furniture. Graduation is quickly approaching for Kansas City University medical students. In less than a week, David Koronadsky dreams of becoming a doctor and will become a reality. But before the white coat, he was wearing coveralls in a mechanic shop. Although he's older than the average medical student, he knows he can still impact the world.
So it has a frame just like a car, but we call them bones. It has fluids, just like a car has oil and coolant. Your body has blood flowing through it.
David's long-term goal is to volunteer for an international hospital ship to give aid to those around the world. Still ahead, 11 Missouri Southern baseball players earned all MIAA honors. And Pitcher of the Year honors for Pitt State's Zach Shoemaker. Jacob Leonard has that and more.
Well, the MIAA has released its all-conference baseball awards for this season. Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern combined today to put 21 players on the all-MIAA awards list. Now, for Pittsburgh State, pitcher Zach Shoemaker has been named the MIAA Pitcher of the Year and a first-team all-conference selection. Shoemaker was 8-2 on the mound for the Gorillas this season with a 3.76 ERA. He had 94 strikeouts in 67 innings. The Pittsburgh State catcher Nixon Brandon is the MIAA Co-Player of the Year, as well as a first-team all-conference pick. Brandon, really good all season. He hit .396 on the year with 15 home runs and a team-high 66 RBIs, which is second most in the MIAA.
Last year was a really hard time for me, just struggling throughout the entire year. And just getting here and finally having my hard work really pay off, and it's been awesome just being able to see it my own eyes with some recognition. It's awesome.
You don't go into the season like, oh man, I can't wait to win this award, or I'm going to do everything I can to win this award. You just want to go out there and you just do what you can, so that way you can keep getting better and people can build off you, you can build off each other. But to be awarded with it, it feels cool for sure.
For Missouri Southern outfielder Ethan Clark has been named the MIAA Freshman of the Year. Clark was pretty good in his first year on the field at Southern. He hit for a team-high 400 average with 15 doubles, 3 home runs, and 54 RBIs. Pitcher Cole Woods is a first-team All-MIAA selection and an MIAA Gold Glove pick. Woods was 9-2 on the mound for the Lions with an MIAA best 3.62 ERA. He was third in the conference with 91 strikeouts. The shortstop Henry Kuziak, also a first-team All-MIAA selection and a Gold Glover. Kuziak hit .348 this year, 17 doubles, 13 homers, and 55 RBIs. Then one more guy on the All-MIAA first team for Southern, second baseman Nate Miskowski. He kind of did a little bit of everything this season for Southern. Miskowski led the Lions in hits, doubles, triples, and runs scored. His 71 runs scored are the most in the conference this season.
For Nate and Kuzi, both, Kuziak, both our middle infielders to get, it's a big honor to get first team, and then Cole to be one of the 3 pitchers in our league to get first team. So hard to do. And Tragan getting second team, and then Cole Gaiman honorable mention, and a couple relievers honorable mention, and of course Matt Miller had a great year at a very tough position. For him to have 22 home runs and 73 RBIs and get second team, it shows you how hard our league is. So we've had some good success, and we're proud of our guys, and we hope to continue to keep rolling.
I didn't have a great fall, but I knew that I was going to get an opportunity at some point, and I feel like I took advantage of it.
You can check out the complete list of all 21 players earning all MIAA recognition today on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Missouri Southern Lions are still alive in the MIAA softball tournament in Topeka. Last night, Southern rolled by Emporia State 11-3 in the first round. Now tonight, they were supposed to be on the field in the second round against Rogers State, but that game was postponed due to weather. Instead, the 2 teams will meet tomorrow afternoon with first pitch scheduled for 1:30. Well, the MIAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships begin tomorrow in Jefferson City. Now, for Pittsburg State, both the men's and women's teams are ranked in the top 10 in the nation. The Gorilla men are number 1. The women are ranked 6th this week. Now, here's head coach Kyle Rutledge on what it will take on the women's side to bring home another championship this weekend.
We have to compete as a complete team. It's going to take every single female on our team that we put on the roster. Northwest has got a great team. Missouri Southern's got a great team. And so it's going to be a battle. It's going to be very tough on the women's side. And so we need our women to come together and compete and fight for everything they can. And we got a young team, so they're still learning how to compete at a high level.
Now this time of the year is such a fun time of the year with playoff baseball and obviously postseason and track and field. And I love covering the MIAA, man. As you see, good athletes all over the place in a lot of different sports.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could argue it's the best conference, period.
I would.
In all the Division II athletics, it's similar to the Pac-12 at the FBS level, where every sport they've got national champions or bowl winners, you name it, just across the board. So really cool to be here in the MIAA.
Makes my job fun.
With 2 great schools at that.
No doubt.
All right, thank you, Leonard. We're back with more after this.
Well, of course, a wet one out there for most of us. I've seen light to moderate showers all day long, still continuing across a good chunk of the region. That's why we got wet roads or a wet parking lot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, rainfall amounts in Joplin, about 3/4 of an inch, which is great. We're still behind by about 4.5 inches, but we will definitely take whatever we can get as this wave continues to work through the region. It's slowly going to taper off as we go through the overnight hours. But where you see the yellows, that's where we are getting some moderate rain. Not much in our northwestern counties, but still we're getting some pretty good rain. Extreme southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, also southwestern parts of Missouri. Let's zoom into the metro, really from Pittsburgh over to Carthage, Neosho, Miami. Pretty good showers along 69, So south half of Pittsburgh, all the way down to about Baxter Springs, back through Ottawa County along I-44, and then kind of spotty through Joplin, Newton County. And then once you get really from that stretch of Carthage up to Lamar, pretty good. Moderate rainfall, something we'll definitely take. Still redeveloping a little bit northeastern parts of Oklahoma, so we are going to have those scattered showers over the next several hours. Heaviest stripe of about a ½ inch to an inch, Montgomery County, Labette, Cherokee, southern Crawford, northern Newton, into parts of Jasper County. Look at this, nothing out toward Woodson, Wilson County, Allen County, northern parts of Allen County. So everybody needs rain, but the areas that need it the worst don't really get any. Temperatures mainly sitting into the mid 50s. Let's go outside. You can see the rain falling 57, visibility 6 miles, relative humidity 89%. Rain chances stick around next few hours and then trail off and pretty much gone as we go into tomorrow morning. Let's go through time. Scattered showers stick around, especially southwestern Missouri, for the next several hours. Here's 3 o'clock in the morning, and then starts to work out of the area. So by morning, most of us are going to be dry. We can't rule out a random sprinkle or a quick little shower tomorrow. Back near 70 by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, check this out, upper 70s, mid to upper 70s, 75 Lamar, 81 at Grand Lake, Pittsburgh, up to about 77. Tomorrow night, mild. You can open up the windows. We stay into the mid 60s. Then on Saturday, check this out, we push 90. Most of us 85 to 90 degrees on Saturday, so we really heat up as we head into the weekend. All right, additional rainfall tonight, not much. Mainly on the Missouri side, maybe a quarter of an inch, but still, we'll definitely take it. Here's your day planner. We start with clouds. Sunshine pops out in the afternoon. Most of us 76, 77, 78 degrees by the time we head into the afternoon hours. 77 tomorrow, 89 Saturday, 89 on Sunday. We could get a few thunderstorms Sunday evening, and then our chances slowly increase Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all the way through next weekend. Any of these storms that do pop up or in May could be strong to severe. I'd say the highest severe threat is next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something we'll keep our eyes on.
And with that being said, it's vital that you guys at home download our KOAM Skywatch weather app.
It's free.
It'll even let you know if there's a lightning strike in your area.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Doug. Coming up, a federal jury makes a decision on its members of the Proud Boys extremist group. We'll have the verdict. Plus, the latest on an Atlanta medical building shooting suspect's court appearance today. More than 1,000 people have been charged in connection with the January 6th attack. Every defendant who's faced a jury has been convicted on at least some charges. It includes 5 members of the Proud Boys found guilty today, 4 of whom were found guilty of the most serious charge. Reporter Skylar Henry is in Washington with details.
A federal jury found the former leader of the Proud Boys and 3 high-ranking members guilty of seditious conspiracy for their role in the January 6th attack.
That the Justice Department will do everything in its power to defend the American people and American democracy.
Prosecutors said the far-right extremist group, led at the time by Enrique Tarrio, plotted to stop the peaceful transfer of power to keep then-President Trump in office.
And if you don't fight like hell?
Defense lawyers argued in court that Trump was responsible for the violence that day. They're now planning an appeal.
He was the one who called the rally and had everyone show up.
Prosecutors told the jury that the Proud Boys considered themselves Trump's army and were among the first to break through police barriers.
January 6th will be a day in infamy.
Tarrio, who was not in Washington that day due to a prior arrest, later messaged the group, "Make no mistake, we did this." This seditious conspiracy charge carries a prison sentence of up to 20 years. CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson says the verdict could deter future political violence.
We don't want to be talking about the next January 6th after the inauguration in 2025.
A 5th defendant, Dominic Pizzola, used the police riot shield to smash a Capitol window and lead rioters inside. He was found not guilty of seditious conspiracy, but was convicted of obstructing a congressional proceeding. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Several members of the far-right extremist group The Oath Keepers were found guilty of seditious conspiracy last year. Sentencing for them is later this month. The alleged gunman in a deadly medical office shooting in Atlanta has waived his first court hearing. Jail records show 24-year-old Dion Patterson is charged with 1 count of murder and 4 counts of aggravated assault. A law enforcement source told CBS News Patterson was in a waiting room in the Northside Hospital medical facility when he became agitated and started shooting. Patterson's mother says her son suffers from mental illness. Let's look at some of today's top national headlines. A holiday is out of this world next. Today is Star Wars Day. It falls on May 4th every year. If you're wondering why, say these words out loud. May the 4th be with you. See? Okay, so what's the best way to celebrate one of the most well-beloved movie franchises in history? You could grab some popcorn and binge the many Star Wars films that have been produced or the TV streaming spin-offs. And you could relax and enjoy the memorable film score streaming on Spotify and Apple Music. Were you ever able to see any of those in theaters?
No, but I don't care for Star Wars.
I
know you're a big fan, but I
on.
don't. It just doesn't do it for me for some reason.
It's okay. Your expertise is weather. So what do you have for us?
Well, we continue with scattered showers, even a random thunderstorm for the next several hours. And then tomorrow looks pretty good. Could be a random sprinkle, 77. Then we start to push 90 as we head into the weekend.
It's time to start breaking out those shorts. Maybe some sunscreen, depending on how much sun breaks through.
Yeah.
All right, looking forward to it. And thank you all for watching tonight. Don't forget, our KOAM morning show is at 5 a.m., and we'll do this all again tomorrow. See you then.